In March of 2020, our church was thriving. Classrooms were full, we were starting new small groups, and we were reaching people. But overnight, all that changed. Suddenly, we were scrambling to find face masks and hand sanitizer. Nobody knew how bad it would really get, and the worst part was the isolation. We couldn't go anywhere, not even church.
As far as COVID, it really affected us as far as the small group. I mean, we rely on them. It's about 20 of us. We're all in the same age, so we're going through relatively the same life problems, aging parents, grandchildren, stuff like that. 1 minute we're in a room, praying and encouraging each other, and the next we were trying to get on Zoom. And old people and technology, it's not the greatest thing. We spent a lot of time logging on.
Mike's parents had just moved into the area,
Yeah.
so they didn't know anybody. Elderly, they had some health issues, and just as soon as the shutdown happened, Mike's dad passed away.
Right.
And so
We were fortunate that the small group was still able to reach out. I mean, they couldn't, with COVID, there was no graveside services or nothing, but they were still able to send word, drop off food, things like that. And that was important. I mean, Brother Jim has said many times, a lot more happens in a circle than in the rows.
For us, COVID really didn't affect our lives much at all. Both of us still went to work like normal. We don't really get out much, so we didn't get affected that way. Really, the biggest part of our lives that were affected by COVID was coming to church and being around our church family and stuff. So it was a in the grand scheme of things, it was a minor change, but it was a big change, and it affected us because church is a big part of our life.
For me, virtual is not the same. I get distracted easily. I want to multitask, and I don't tend to focus as much when I'm watching something versus when I'm in person.
We have a great granddaughter, Emma, who loves to come to Froggy School, she calls it. And she really missed it, but they sent her lesson every week, and it had a little activity in it, and she loved getting those. Wednesday night disappeared again, mainly because of Emma. We just really missed it. She missed her little group, and I know that many other programs at the church suffered because of it.
So I was teaching, so we also went virtual, which I love technology. So I thought I would love virtual. I was like, oh, yay, virtual. And then we got going, and it was so much harder than you thought it would be to stay connected with everybody. Our kids struggled, the kids I taught, and then it was a struggle for me being pregnant because I didn't have the support that I normally would have, and the people that we normally connect with in our small group and at church. And then after having Waylon, it was almost impossible to do or watch anything virtually. And so you really just lost everything that you normally got when you come to church and you see everybody, and just being able to focus on your faith was totally disrupted at home.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest change we had was in our church family, as far as nowhere to go to serve. I think it took more discipline than I had to watch the sermons at home and to continue the relationship. You realize how much it means to you.
The pandemic taught us something very important: the value of actually getting to meet together. We've been given a great gift to see the incredible value of church.